Okay, so we need to spend a little bit of time here in this live stream and talk about these new $1,000 accounts that are being set up or that will be set up through the Treasury, and they will automatically fund these accounts with $1,000 through these new pilot programs. So I want to break it all down for you here in this live stream. I've seen it out there in the headlines a number of times here recently. This is a new provision within this reconciliation bill that is on the within lawmakers' possession right now. They're working on it in the Senate. It's likely going to be the president's desk in the next 2.5 weeks or so, likely going to be there, or at least that's their plan anyway. I don't know if it's really going to be. It's probably going to be delayed a little bit, but I've seen it out there in the headlines. I've had a couple questions coming in on this, not a ton. I haven't seen it down below in the comment section a ton yet, but I have seen a few people reaching out asking, hey, what's going on with this? Who's this for? Can we get it? What are all the details about this? So I want to talk about it here in this video, okay? So we're going to talk about all the details. I'll break down exactly what this is, the name of this plan. I was going to say it's not a proposal. It's technically within this reconciliation bill, and it was already passed by the House. It's just in the Senate, and it looks like they're going to keep it within it. So it looks like it's going to be a real official thing here, very, very soon, okay? But anyway, I'll tell you the name of it, the whole provision around it, all the different details, who would qualify for it, and everything else you need to know about it. And again, that's exactly why I wrote in the title of this live stream, facts. The new $1,000 accounts facts, right? So anyway, okay, so let's talk about what these are all about. Okay, so here's what it is. The original name of this, okay, I'm just going to tell you the original name that they gave this, were MAGA accounts, or do they say MEGA or MAGA? I don't know, whatever, MAGA, right? Make America Great Again, that's the whole thing. Obviously, you know that, but anyway, that's what they were going to be called, is MAGA accounts. Well, that didn't really pass that way, but rather now they're called Trump accounts. Literally, real thing, okay? So they're called Trump accounts. But here's what this is all about. So what they want to do, and again, I shouldn't say what they want to do, what they are and will be doing with this, is it's basically like setting up an IRA. I mean, they're not calling it an IRA, but it's basically the exact same thing as an IRA, but it's rather than for adults, it's for kids. It's for kids, okay? So here's what all the details about this. And I'll tell you what we know about it as of now. Any of this is subject to change within the version out of the Senate here. Okay, so as of January 1st of next year, 2026, parents with kids under the age of 8 would be able to start funding these accounts. Well, the Treasury is going to set up a pilot program, and the Treasury will automatically set up these accounts for any new babies that are born from early or the beginning, January 1st, 2025, so retroactive about 6 months now, or just about 6 months, going back to January 1st of this year, 2025, through the end of 2028, so a few years out in the future, any babies born during that time, the Treasury would automatically set up one of these accounts, and they would fund it through their pilot program with $1,000 of just, here you go, free $1,000 for you, okay? Now here's some of the caveats behind this. They have an annual contribution limit of $5,000, kind of like an IRA, right? Obviously, the contributions for an IRA are not $5,000, but it's kind of like the same concept. And the whole other idea behind that as well is that this money would need to be invested into index funds, as in invested into essentially the stock market, is basically what it comes down to. The money could not be levered, as in could not use leverage to invest it. And then that money is locked up until the person turns the age of 18, and then it would be locked, and they could get access to that money. Okay, but here's the caveat behind that. You can't just all of a sudden fund it for all these years with up to $5,000, which is also indexed to inflation every single year. And then all of a sudden the once baby turns into an 18-year-old, officially an adult. They can't just take that money and go blow it somewhere on something, random. But rather, the money would have to be used for things like education, trade school, starting a business, buying a house, things like that. So it would have to be used for something substantial. It couldn't be just used for let's go have a party this weekend, right? Or something crazy like that. It would actually have to be used for something that actually, would possibly get that person something greater in life rather than just blowing it on something random. So that's what these are all about, okay? Now notice, as I mentioned, and again, that's why I said facts in the title of this, because I'm bringing you the facts on this as far as what this is all about, okay? So anyway, these are $1,000 essentially funded accounts from the Treasury, okay, for any new babies. I want to make that very clear. New babies that are born January 1st of this year, 2025, through the end of 2028, so multiple years out into the future. It's not that long, honestly. 2028 will be here before we know it. It's scary to think about, but it's true, right? All right, anyway, that's what this is all about. But as I mentioned a minute ago, as of January 1st next year, 2026, parents who have kids under the age of 8, could start funding these accounts with up to $5,000 contributions per year. Okay. Now, the whole purpose behind this as well, this is kind of interesting. Anybody could contribute to these accounts on the behalf of these kids. For example, a friend, a family member, a grandparent, a guardian, a parent, anybody could contribute to these accounts. So like literally you could be like, here, neighbor kid, I'm going to give you $5 for your little Trump account, whatever. And you could literally fund it for them, right? So that's kind of the whole idea, is that trying to get other people to fund it for these people. So that's what that comes down to. So interesting. And this is within this big reconciliation bill. Okay. So that's what that's all about. Have you seen it in the headlines? I'm guessing some of you here in the community have absolutely seen this in the headlines. I certainly have. I don't know. It's an interesting idea. Some of the people, the lawmakers, have come out and said, oh, this is going to set them up for long-term success in life. I would actually argue I don't think so. I don't think that's the case at all, right? I don't think so anyway. That's just my opinion. I could be totally wrong about that. But that's just, what I think about it. I don't think it's going to set somebody up for long-term success. I do think that it could potentially be helpful, but it could also be kind of damaging, in my opinion, potentially, because I don't know, if an 18-year-old just all of a sudden gets access to, say, $100,000 plus, I don't know. There's temptation to do some weird stuff with that, right? So, I mean, don't get me wrong. It'd be awesome as an 18-year-old to have that much money unlocked and just available for somebody. That'd be absolutely incredible, right? I think a lot of us would be, well, I think a lot of us would have been felt very, very good if that were our situation. Obviously, I don't think that was the situation for many of us, or any of us, if that was right. Certainly was not my situation, but I think a lot of us would have been very, very excited, right? But there's also that temptation, like, hey, this is awesome, right? Like, what can I do with this? Maybe I'll start some random business, and then all the money's gone because they don't really know what they're doing. I don't know. It's like a cool opportunity, but at the end of the day, I feel like, this could also be a little bit dangerous at the same time, right? I don't know. Maybe a lot of other 18-year-olds out there are smarter than I was. I know for me, handing me an account with $100,000 in it or about that when I was 18, not a good idea. I just know that for a fact. That would have been a terrible idea for me. I certainly can't speak for everybody, but I know that would not have been a very good idea in my situation. So I certainly don't want to expect that for everybody. I don't want to assume anything. I'm just saying that's just kind of how I'm looking at this whole thing, right? All right, anyway. So if you've been seeing this out there in the headlines at all, this is what it's about. It's the original name was MAGA accounts, and the new name on this is Trump accounts, okay? And it's basically just to fund new babies and basically kids under the age of 8. So parents can start funding this and then getting these accounts set up and things like that. So, yeah, I don't know. Is this maybe a little bit of a bribe out of this legislation here to maybe get parents to think, there's $1,000 on the line here. We should maybe have some more kids. I don't know. You hear about this all the time, right? Like, our population is dwindling, right? I mean, you hear these things all the time, like, in X number of years, they have all these statistics. Have you seen any of this? Right? Like, in 50 years, the population of the United States is going to be, and they give some like really low figure, right? So I don't know. Maybe this is just a little bit of an incentive to have more kids. I don't know. I don't know if it's enough. I mean, if they offered more money, maybe it'd be more of an incentive. But I feel like $1,000, and you can't touch it for 18 years. I don't know if that's really much of an incentive. So anyway, that's what this is all about. All right, anyway, there's not a whole lot more to talk about this, but it's basically, if you're familiar with an IRA, individual retirement account, right? Basically the same thing as that, but rather than geared toward essentially adults who have an earned income who can fund that, it's basically an account that's set up for kids, starting at basically birth, And then parents, guardians, family members, friends, anybody can fund the account for that child in the amount of up to $5,000 per year, which is also adjusted for inflation, again, each and every year. And then when the kid turns 18, they have access to that money that they can use on schooling, trade school, starting a business, buying a house, whatever it happens to be like that. So that's what that's all about. I don't know. Interesting concept. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't love it. But that is one of the one of the piece of legislation, or I shouldn't say legislation, one of the provisions, that's the word, one of the provisions within this big reconciliation bill, which is likely going to be on the president's desk in the next 2.5-ish weeks, or that's their plan anyway, by the 4th of July, which is honestly like 2.5 weeks from now. It's crazy, right? It's going to be here before we know it. Wow, it's going fast. All right, anyway, so I wanted to give you a quick little update on this. Like I said at the beginning of the video, if you're just jumping on right now, I've seen this out there in the headlines a number of times. I've had a few people asking me about it, not a ton. I've seen a couple questions rolling in about it saying, hey, like, what is this? Can I get it? Who gets this? How can we get access to this? This is what it is. I have not talked about it yet simply because, well, I'm going to be fair with you. It doesn't pertain to a lot of people here in this community. In fact, I would anticipate the vast majority of you here in this community, this probably doesn't pertain to you. That's why I haven't talked about it yet, because I feel like, well, I don't really see that this is very valuable to many of you here in this community that generally watch these videos. So thought I'd quickly talk about it here in this live stream. All right, anyway, hope this helps you. As always, leave a comment down below, which, by the way, hey, thank you so much to all of you for leaving the very nice comments today. Really appreciate that. That's very kind of you. Thank you. I read through the comment section. So many nice people here in this community. I'm just so grateful for all of you to be here. Thank you for all the very nice messages. Very, very nice. I'm sure there's some comments down below in the chat as well. Again, thank you. All of you are so kind. Seriously, such a kind group of people here. Really amazing. Seriously, I'm just like, every time I read through the comment section, I see all your comments, just like, man, there's so many nice people out there, really. Like a lot of really, really, really nice, thoughtful, kind people out there. So anyway, thank you so much for being here. It truly, truly means so much to me. And I really, really appreciate your messages. Thank you. All right, anyway, I'm gonna let you go. Please have a nice evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you're located. I'm guessing the majority of you here are in the United States. But if you're somewhere else abroad, well, first off, hope you have a nice day. Please stay safe out there. It's a wild time we're living through right now, right? All right, anyway, I'll keep you posted again. Please have a nice afternoon, evening, day, whatever it happens to be for you. Thanks again for being here. Really appreciate you. And I will catch you again tomorrow. I guarantee this is going to be a very interesting week here. Got a lot of things going on, and I'll certainly keep you posted. All right, enjoy. Thank you again for being here, and I'll catch you again later. All right, here we go. And again, I hope this was helpful to understand all this. I know, a lot of weird stuff, right? All right, anyway.